to the January 3rd, 2022 regular meeting of the Milford Board of Aldermen. Please join me as we salute our flag, and please remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of Richard Darwin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Alderman Arcola. Alderman Beatty. Alderman Brewster. Alderman Casey. Alderman Gurman. Alderman Genentasio. Alderman Hardiman.
Alderman Hardiman would like to be excused, Madam Secretary.
Alderman Harla. Alderman Marlowe. Alderman Moffett.
Alderman Moffett would also like to be excused, Madam Secretary.
Alderman Pacelli. Alderman Parente. Alderman Vitro. Alderman Vitale. Alderman Willis. 12 are present.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We do have a quorum. Portion of the meeting is devoted to public comment. Statements are strictly limited to the legislative functions of the Board of Aldermen. Please use every effort to limit public speaking to the permissible business of this Board of Aldermen. The time limit granted to each speaker shall be 3 minutes. Residents, taxpayers, and electors may address the Board at this time. The Board encourages speakers not to express derogatory, insensitive, or offensive statements against individuals. In order to allow everyone an opportunity to speak, I'd ask that everyone please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Anybody wishing to address the Board can do so at this time.
Hi, good evening and Happy New Year to all. My name is Wendy Terenzio and I reside at 24 Ard Court in Milford, Connecticut. I am the president of the Walnut Beach Association and I'm here representing our association and we are concerned about the inability of people from out of town to participate in our events at Walnut Beach. Last summer, many people were turned away due to excessive parking fees at our concerts and farmers markets. Our only fundraiser for the free concerts was not attended well for the same reason, hurting the bottom line. We are requesting an exemption from the parking fees that were passed into an ordinance for the summer of 2020. We are a nonprofit organization and we do many things in our community for our community. We would like to see this exemption passed as an ordinance so it isn't subject to change. Our events enhance the quality of life for our residents and those who choose to visit our little city with a big heart. We have made great strides in improving our community and we cannot continue to plan great events without it being less restrictive to out-of-towners. We are only asking what other areas of Milford do enjoy, such as Devon and downtown. Lastly, we will request that our 3rd District Aldermen set a meeting with us, hopefully within the next week, so that we can talk over these details further and set proper protocol to hopefully get this on a February or March agenda and hopefully get that passed. So I thank you for your time.
Hi, good evening. That helps. My name is Kim Thompson. I live at 6 Stowe Avenue in Milford. I am on the board at Walnut Beach Association and on the Walnut Beach Arts and Business Association. And I've come here tonight to ask that we get some kind of an exemption for the parking for our events, which we work very hard at and we do for the community. And to benefit our community as a not-for-profit on both ends. And again, we're only asking what other areas in Milford already have, such as Devon and with their farmers market, and anybody that has concerts in the city without parking fees, so that we could get the full benefit of all residents, non-Milford people and family members and guests, and people who just want to attend to have a nice time. Excuse me. So thank you for your time.
Good evening. I'm Donna Travis. I live at 9 Brookdale Ave, Milford, and I am Vice President of the Walnut Beach Association. So I just want to reiterate what my fellow board members have already stated. I'm here as a member of the Walnut Beach Association and on behalf of the board. And I'm concerned about the inability of people from out of town to participate in our events at Walnut Beach. Last summer, many people were turned away. They really were disappointed that they had to either pay excessive parking fees and couldn't attend our concerts or our farmers markets because of those fees. Our only fundraiser for the free concerts was also not well attended for the same reason, hurting our bottom line. We are requesting an exemption from parking fees when we have permitted events. We are a not-for-profit organization and we do many things in our community and for our community. We'd like to see this exemption passed as an ordinance so it's not subject to change. Our events enhance the quality of our life for our residents and those who choose to visit our little city with a big heart. We have many great strides in improving our community. We can't continue to plan great events without it being less restrictive to out-of-towners. We're only asking what other areas of Milford enjoy, such as Devon and downtown. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Mary E. Oak, also known as Emmy, and I live at 30 Durinna Place, right downtown. Before I moved here, I lived in Greenwich and Stamford. I am a member of this Walnut Beach Association. Before I moved here, I used to come to their concerts and other things. I've lived here for now almost 4.5 years. I liked the fact I didn't have to pay for parking because I had to deal with parking in a big way in Stamford, which irritated me intensely to go to any function. It put me off. So I understand what it's like to be an outsider, and that's why I'd like you to consider this ordinance. So that you still get the outside. You have a wonderful reputation of tourism, but you're going to cut it in half, and it's been already felt last year. Thank you.
Hi, Simon McDonald, 35 Wood Avenue, Milford, Connecticut. I'm here as a member of the Walnut Beach Association. I'm the government liaison, and I'm a director at the Chamber of Commerce. I'm concerned about the inability of people from out of town to participate in our events at Walnut Beach. Last summer, many people were turned away due to excessive parking fees at our concerts and farmers markets. Our only fundraiser for the free concerts was also not well attended for the same reason, hurting the bottom line. We are requesting an exemption from parking fees when we have permitted events. We are a not-for-profit organization, and we do many things in our community and for our community. We would like to see this exemption passed as an ordinance so that it isn't subject to change. Our events enhance the quality of life for our residents and those who choose to visit our little city with a big heart. We have made great strides in improving our community, and we cannot continue to plan great events without it being less restrictive to out-of-towners. We are only asking what other areas of Milford enjoy, such as Devon and downtown. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Alderman. My name is Laura Ambrogio. I reside at 24 Ard Court. I'm here as a member of the Walnut Beach Association, and as everyone else has stated, we are requesting an exemption from the parking fees when we have permitted events. We are a not-for-profit organization. We do many good things in our community, for our community, and we would like for you to consider this ordinance change on behalf of the Walnut Beach Association. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Board of Aldermen, Mayor Ben Blake. I'm also here as a member of the Walnut Beach Association and concerned with the inability of people from out of town to participate in our events at Walnut Beach.
Excuse me, you need to state your name for the
Oh,
record,
I'm sorry.
please.
Jeff Viscount. I live at 59 Chatham Avenue in Milford. I'm here as a member of the Walnut Beach Association. I'm concerned with the inability of people from out of town to participate in our events at Walnut Beach. Last summer, people were turned down because of the excessive parking fees, and as many of you already know, our events are free, and it's a big fundraiser for us. We do a lot for the community also. Okay, requesting an exemption for parking during our events that we have, and we'd like to see this exemption passed as an ordinance, and so it is not subject to any type of change in the future. Our events enhance the quality of life for our residents and those who choose to visit the little city with a big heart. We've made a lot of strides in improving our community, and we cannot continue to plan these great events without being less restrictive on parking for out-of-towners. We're only asking what other area of Milford residents enjoy, the free parking in Devon and downtown. And lastly, I'd like to add for my own self, I live 2 blocks from Walnut Beach, and we deal with the issues of out-of-towners parking on our street, blocking our driveways and stuff, just so they can avoid paying those fees. And, you know, if it's during an event that's a fundraiser for our group, I'd like to see that just exempted, okay? Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Sarah Aaron Bromley, 27 Norway Street in Milford. I am also a member of Walnut Beach Association, and I'm here to say ditto, basically, to save your time, but I think that it behooves Milford to make it easier, not harder, for people to enjoy the wonderful events that the Walnut Beach Association works so hard to put on. We all can really enjoy them. We want to make it, like I said, make it easier for people to come, not harder, and prove that we really are the little city with the big heart. It's nothing that other areas of Milford don't have, so it really shouldn't be a super big deal. But as others have said, as an ordinance, it would be most appropriate in this situation, I think. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm John Drapp. I live at 41 Jackson Drive. In the interest of full disclosure, as many of you know, I am the sitting Republican town chair, but I stand before you tonight as an attorney that dedicates a substantial portion of my practice to addressing the legal needs of the over 55 community. As the board's undoubtedly aware, this population is more likely to be limited in terms of a fixed income. They are also more likely to be afflicted by the inflation that we are all experiencing right now. Of the proposed amendment to Section 9-14 of the Code of Ordinances. While it may be a small step, as we all know, every little bit helps, and any relief that we can give to that community by passing that amendment would be well received by those involved. I want to thank Alderman Genatasio for bringing this forward. I would urge the board to support the amendment. And lastly, Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for taking, during the moment of silence, the opportunity to recognize Richard Dick Dowen. His death is a tremendous loss to this city, and that is truly appreciated. Thank you all.
Would anybody else like to speak at this time or to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, Alderman Harla. Agenda item number 3, consideration of minutes for the regular meeting held on December 6th, 2021. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 4, there was no special meeting. Agenda number 5, Chairman's report. I just hope that everyone had a very happy New Year's, and I hope that we are all looking forward to the new year. And hopefully, all the board members looking forward to making the city an even better city than it is today. Looking forward. Agenda item number 6, Mayor's report and recommendation. Is there a report from the mayor?
We have some technical difficulties. I don't know if everybody can hear me, but I would also like to wish Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is this working? I would also like to wish everybody a very happy 2022. I am hopeful that the healthiness, the trajectory towards health for this community will be better as we get into this new year. Obviously, the entire community is focused on making sure that we control this pandemic. There has been an uptick over the last couple of weeks in our health department, and our governmental departments have been working very, very hard. And I wish all of you a healthy, safe 2022. With that, we do have a packed house as we do every January. January is when we swear in our newly appointed and reappointed board and commission members. These are folks who really do make Milford Milford. Milford's government is so well respected because of the people in this room who volunteer of their time, their energy, their expertise for one purpose: to make our community even stronger. And Milford has a tradition of volunteerism. The people on this board, on your board, the people in this room who are stepping up and stepping forward to be members of the various boards and commissions that we have, they are doing this out of a love for our town, and I want to thank them personally. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to name the names of those appointments that are exclusive to the mayor's office. I do respectfully request your consideration and action on those items 8A through 8C. I know that there's also 8D. But with that, I am going to read the names of the 6A appointments, and I'd ask that For each of those newly appointed members, if you could hold your seats, there's going to be an opportunity when the chairman asks everybody to rise so that our city clerk, Karen Fortunati, can administer the oath of office. So bear with me 1 second. Those appointments under 6A. Council of Aging, Shirley Serrano, Benjamin Gettinger, Mary Beth Stickley. Conservation Commission, Carolyn Allen. Inland Wetlands Agency, James Connors, Ranjit Behave. Milford Redevelopment and Housing Partnership, Eric Barba. Veterans Graves Preservation Commission, Thomas Cody, David DeRubis, Patrick Tokars. Again, ladies and gentlemen, at the appropriate time, if you could remain in this auditorium so that our city clerk can swear you in after all of the different members of the boards and commissions have been voted upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next item on the agenda is item number 7. There is no unfinished business. Moving on to agenda item number 8, new business. Alderman Harla, agenda item 8A.
Chairman, I'm going to ask for your microphone because mine is not working.
Yes, sir.
Convenient for me to slide over there.
Yeah, I just
anything that could hold up things. City commissions. Can everybody hear me okay? All good? Assessment Board Review, one-year term expiring December 31st, 2022. Alternates, Richard Vizzello. Building Code Board of Appeals, Jeffrey Adelino. Civil Service Commission, Henry Healy, Gary Petulet. Ethics Commission, Kathy Rodriguez, Lauren Palladino. Board of Finance, Megan Smith, Lauren Ranges. Fire Commission, Howard Stein, Cassandra Soda, Peter Smith. Golf Course Commission, William Healy, Daniel World Jr. Harbor Management Commission, Ray Oliver and Richard Pernetta. Board of Health, Joan Cagliello, Dr. Constance Young, Penny Vaceras. Historic Preservation Commission, William Silver. Library Board, Alicia Pacelli, Brian Smith, and Katie Carroll Gabaretti. Park, Beach, and Recreation Commission, Daniel Worrell and Ann Fabian. Police Commission, Alberta Jago and Bill Bevan. Sewer Commission, Tara Carroll and Edward Abel. Transit District, Michael Leboff. Advisory Board, Nisha Phillips. Tree Commission, Davis Gaskarnovich and Constance Gaynor. Alternate, Nancy Iddings. Veterans Ceremony and Parade Commission, Thomas Jackson and Emily Sopchik. Zoning Board of Appeals, Christine Valaquette. Alternate, Gary DuBois. Michael Clark Smith and Camilla Hirsch.
I entertain a second. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. At this time, will all the newly confirmed board and commission members stand in their seats to get sworn in by our city clerk? I'm sorry, okay, fine. At this point, I will entertain a motion to reorder the agenda to move item 8D next on our agenda so that we can vote in our new boards and commissioners.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Now, at this time, all our members stand in place.
Make sure we have one more appointment swearing. Let's do 8D.
8D. Alderman Harlow, agenda 8D.
Appointments. Animal Commission, Karen Dorney and Colby Collier. Flood and Erosion Control Board, Riza Manzanori. Historic District Commission, Catherine Lutz, alternate Timothy Chaucer. Historic South of the Green, Elizabeth Kennard and Walter Orvilletta. Human Services, Donna Nuno, Joan Campbell, Brendan Casey, and Joy Duva. Inland Wetland, Daniel Bedker, with alternate Matthew Connors. Milford Government Access Television Committee, Ninja Phillips and Nicole Service. Pension and Retirement Board, Stephen Dubrow, Thomas Harrington, Chris Hizza, Greg Kimmel, Alexander Armstrong. Alternates Matthew Glennon, Michael Morello, and Kevin Frank.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. At this time, will all our newly confirmed board and commission members please stand in their seats to get sworn in by our city clerk? Please see the city clerk to complete the sign-in sheet. The sign-in sheet will be out in the lobby. Karen? So after you get sworn in, you could go out into the lobby and sign in the sheet that she has left out there on a clipboard. Thank you, Karen.
There's a yellow legal pad on the table right outside this auditorium, so if you can, please sign in. So, good evening. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that you will faithfully execute and discharge your duties and responsibilities according to law as a member of your respective board and commission of the City of Milford to the best of your ability? God, or upon penalty of perjury? I do. Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Alderman Harlow, please go back to agenda item number 8B.
Agenda item number 8B. Yes, recess.
I'm going to call a recess for 5 minutes until the auditorium is emptied out with all our new appointed commissioners.
Test.
Oh, it's back on. We have microphones, so if we'd like to proceed, we might be able to. It's working. No. It's back on.
I really am.
Testing. Testing. It is. Testing.
Your microphone working? Good, cool. We're back from recess. Agenda item 8C, Alderman Harla.
Agenda item 8B. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay. Board of Aldermen approval is requested for the attached City of Milford Community Rating System, CRS, PPI Program for Public Information, and to authorize the mayor, open space manager, floodplain administrator, and inland wetland agent to take all steps necessary, including the signing of documents, to effectuate said program. A motion.
Second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Harla, agenda item 8C.
Agenda item 8C. The Board of Aldermen approval is requested per the attached recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Board dated December 10th, 2021 for the acceptance of the capital improvement plan for the years 2021 through 2026. This document is located at the back of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
We have a motion. Do we have a
Second the motion.
You have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to...
Alderman Archiola.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to amend the 5-year plan for the police headquarters rebuild portion. I'd like to increase the budget from $30 million to $40 million.
Everyone hear that motion?
Did we start discussion?
I'm asking if you heard the motion first. Did everybody hear the motion? Okay, and we have a second? Second. We have a second. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Alderman Giannattasio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you to the proponent of the amendment. I do concur with you. I actually sat on the police building committee, and in light of inflation and cost of building, and I think it is prudent to have these capital improvement plans. These numbers reflect today's costs, so I will rise in support of that. Thank you.
Alderman Gurman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to Alderman Archiola. Can you just repeat that amendment, please?
Alderman Harla, hang on one second.
Just remind the board that the policy or the rules for the city right now are for all of us to be masked on the board at all times. Is that possible? Thank you. Thank you.
Harla. Archiola. Your microphone on, Alderman Archiola? It's not working. Did you get that motion, Madam Secretary? Yes, you did. Okay. You need to repeat that motion so that Alderman Gurman could understand it? Correct. So the motion was made and seconded, and any more discussion on the motion? Alderman Giannattasio.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize for the technical difficulties. This morning, all of the microphones and sound equipment were working perfectly. But to Alderman Giannatasio, each year this board takes a new look at a new updated capital improvement plan, and they adopt the plan or revise the plan that's presented to this board from the Planning and Zoning Board, and they make those adjustments. So for the next year, what's going to be before the city as the official capital improvement plan will be what is adopted tonight. If it's adopted with a adjustment to the this particular item, the police department proposal, it'll be adopted for the entirety of the year. Again, the plan that is adopted tonight, this board has the final say in the annual capital improvement plan adjustments. So the figure that this board presents tonight will be the ultimate figure. Again, remembering that this five-year capital improvement plan is just a tool. Everything that is here is really still subject to funding. It's a chart that we use to have broad strokes. It also qualifies us in a lot of respects for federal and state grants that do come up. So we do have items in this capital improvement plan that are really just wish list items, so that if one of the federal grants is out there is specific to some type of capital improvement, we have that ready to go. A lot of times these grants have as a condition precedent inclusion in a municipality's capital improvement plan. So our capital improvement plan is broad. Our capital improvement plan perhaps encompasses a lot of things that, absent grant funding, we would not move forward with because they are wish list items. But we have pretty much everything but the kitchen sink in this capital improvement plan.
Any more discussion on the amendment? Alderman Gurman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. I guess to the mayor, years ago, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago, we came up with this figure, 30 million. But then the architect looked at it and gave us a proposal based on its square footage, and it came out to, as I recall, close to 50 or even above that, close to 60. So I'm curious where the 40 million came up. How'd you come up with that figure, and how accurate is that? And this is 5 years later, so the costs have skyrocketed since. So I can't imagine it's going to be 40 million. So can you clarify that, please?
Mr. Chairman, through you to Alderman Gurman. Again, this is just a planning tool. This capital improvement plan is just a way that we use to kind of chart a overall course. Everything is subject to additional scrutiny by this board for every dollar that is authorized, either through bonding or through some other funding mechanism. You did make reference to past capital improvement plans. At one point, when I was on the board, this particular proposal, which goes back at least 30 years, had the police station at 14 million, then 15 million. Then more recently, even when I was mayor, it was at 20 million, and then it went to 30 million. This is a big project. It is going to increase the debt service for the city of Milford significantly. We have to make sure that if we are going to move forward with this project, which it's my intention that we do in the next couple of years, that we have a way to pay for this. There was a building committee that was stood up and Alderman Giantasio and Chairman Vitro were on that building committee. It was a great, grand police station that was going to last us for 100 years. Unfortunately, it had a huge price tag associated with it. That caused us to push the pause button because it would have jacked up our mill rate by a mill, approximately $7 million in debt service for over a 20-year period. And at that point, 3 years ago, when we moved forward with it, we just could not afford that. It was too much. We are looking at ways to pay for a police station, whether it's a $20 million upgrade to the existing facility, a $30 million, a $40 million. We have to be able to balance out the needs of our department with our ability to pay for any new capital improvements. The good thing is we have a fantastic police force, the best trained, best equipped force. In terms of a new police facility, we have that on the horizon. At the present moment, we are making upgrades to the existing facility to accommodate present needs, but we are planning for the future. We are planning to make some type of improvements. I don't know if it's going to be a $40 million facility. What I can assure you, what I can promise you is that before we spend $1, your board will be consulted. Your board will have the final approval on any type of spending for that facility. So again, this does not lock us into a $20 million, $30 million, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80 million cap. All this does is give us some direction in terms of the next 5 years and improvements to our capital infrastructure.
Thank you.
Any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're voting on the amendment that Alderman Archiola made. All in favor again?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Archiola. Next item on the agenda
Excuse me,
item number 9.
point of order, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
We have the rest of the CIP to talk about. We just made an amendment on the police station. I'd like to talk about another.
So we're moving back on the original motion, capital improvement motion that Alderman Harlow brought up. Yes, Alderman Vitale.
Discussion on the original CIP?
Correct.
Thank you. Just with
Problem, Alderman Vitale.
okay. Just to wish everybody a happy new year. Every year, budget time and spending money on the capital improvement plan. And Mr. Mayor, you alluded to common sense. You know, we have to get, you know,
Is there any other discussion on the original motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion passes with a roll call. Alderman Vitale, did you vote opposed? Correct, thank you. Roll call vote, Madam Secretary.
Well, you don't need it, there's one no.
Alderman Arcaiola,
Aye.
Alderman Beatty, Alderman Brewster,
Yes.
Yes.
Alderman Gurman,
Yes.
Alderman Gennatasio,
Yes.
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 Alderman Vitale,
No.
Alderman Willis.
Yes.
12 in favor, 1 against.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The, next item agenda is new business. There is no new business tonight. Agenda item number 10. Oops, I'm very sorry. We're having a little difficulties with the electronics here. Moving on to budget memo transfers. Alderman Harla, agenda item number 10A.
Item number 10A, budget memo.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 11, moving on to refunds. Alderman Harla, agenda item number 11A.
11A refunds. Consideration of refunds in the amount of $9,547.55.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 12, moving on to reports of standing committees. Alderman Parenti, agenda item number 12A.
Thank you, Chairman. Earlier tonight, the Ordinance Committee met, and we made a favorable recommendation to forward to the full board the following ordinance that I make as a motion. An ordinance amending Chapter 9 Garbage, Trash, and Refuse, Article 2, Collection, Section 9-14 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Milford, Rules and Regulations generally. Thank you.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Gennatasio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, to the members of the board, the ones that weren't or didn't attend the Ordinance Committee meeting. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Chairwoman Parenti for allowing me to bring this ordinance forward. I'd also like to thank the members from Baldwin Station community that came out and spoke in favor of it for all the reasons that they stated. As you know, these 55 and older communities, they don't have children in the school system. They don't have a lot of the other benefits such as bulk pickup. They have to plow their streets. They have extra costs other than, what we're accustomed to. So sitting down with them and discussing with them their needs, it occurred to me that being that they're 55 and older, This should be something tailored specific to those communities, and this is how the ordinance came to fruition. And I'd also like to thank the city attorney for drafting the ordinance, and Tony Weeks for helping, and also Peter Aradisi for the projections of the costs of the ordinance, along with the tax collector, Marcus, who identified all the 55 and older communities that will benefit from this ordinance. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take any questions at this time, but I ask for your support on this ordinance before you. Thank you.
Any more discussion on the motion? Alderman Parente.
Yes, thank you, Chairman, through you. This happens to fall in my district, Baldwin Station does, and I really appreciate the diligence of the gentleman from Baldwin Station for bringing this to our attention. I think I can give time to someone in my district. Is that correct, according to the rules? Is that correct? That I can give a member of the public from my district? I believe I can. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, through you, you're the arbiter, but an alderman can recognize a person from that district up to 5 minutes.
Okay, great. So I'd like to recognize one of the gentlemen, whoever you prefer to come up, and if you would like to give us a little bit more.
I'm not sure I heard what your question was. We can address the board. Okay. The ordinance was passed 21 years ago, and at that time, I am sure that the rebate that the city pays us was much closer to the actual cost of us carting our own trash. 21 years of inflation. Today, our cost is only covered to the tune of 50%. This ordinance proposal that is in front of you right now will only bring us up to 70% of our costs being covered. It's a step in the right direction, and I think it's overdue. I would appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
That's all I have, Chairman. Thank you.
Is there any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
Roll call vote, Madam Secretary, please.
Alderman Archiola?
Yes.
Alderman Beatty?
No.
Alderman Broster?
Yes.
Alderman Casey?
Yes.
Alderman Gurman?
Yes.
Alderman Genatasio?
Yes.
Alderman Harla? Alderman Marlowe?
Yes.
Alderman Pacelli?
I'm going to have to abstain from voting due to a conflict of interest in that I represent certain 55 and older communities in my profession as an attorney. Thank you.
Alderman Prente?
Yes.
Alderman Vitro?
Yes.
Alderman Vitale?
Yes.
Alderman Willis?
Yes.
11 yeses, 1 no, and 1 abstention.
11 yeses, 1 no, and 1 abstention. Correct, Madam Secretary?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next item on the agenda item number 13. Are there any reports of any special committees? Alderman Vitale.
Mr. Chair, thank you for, just as a reminder, the last meeting, we determined that the fact that there was to be a correction made to the aldermanic standing committees, if you remember that, and we never reached and we never got out a new edition and revised edition of the standing committees. Do you remember that? Because it had the personnel committee. There was a question about the personnel committee.
You're referring to the Rules Committee, Alderman Vitale?
Well, the aldermanic standing committees, yeah. Remember, the personnel committee did not have the chair as the
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, you're talking about the Personnel Committee?
Because the Personnel Committee did not have you as the chair and the vice chair as the majority and the minority leader as the making of that committee.
Mr. Chairman, I think there was an announcement made at the last December meeting, which should be reflected in the minutes. So,
Yeah, shouldn't we have a clean copy of all the committees? Please, that's what I'm requesting, is a clean copy of the corrected aldermanic standing
happy
committees.
to. We've never provided a copy in the past other than what appears in the aldermanic packet as a proposal, but we can certainly get a copy to the board.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes,
Yes, thank you.
Alderman Willis.
Chairperson Vitro. We had a little bit of discussion back and forth about the Rules Committee meeting last month, and due to alders in both caucuses having conflicts with the scheduled meeting, I had to postpone it. So I'm trying to have one this month in January. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Willis. Any more reports of any special committees? Seeing none, move on to executive session. We don't have any executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion to adjourn. All meeting adjourned. Thank you.